Hello, Ruby. Hello, Sigrid. Hello, Agnes. This is the next chapter in the Millie Molly Mandy book, and I think your mummy might especially like this chapter because it's all about gardening. So Grandma sat in the garden this afternoon so that it's the right place to be for the story. One Saturday afternoon, Millie Molly Mandy went down to the village. She had to go to Mr. Blunt's corn shop to order a list of things for Uncle. And would Mr. Blunt please send them on Monday without fail? Mr. Blunt said to her, "Of course I will. Tell your uncle he shall have them first thing on Monday." And then Millie Molly Mandy, who loved the smell of the corn shop, peeped into the great bins and dug her hands down into the maize and the bran and the oats and let them sift through her fingers. And then she said a quick goodbye and went out. As she passed the Blunts' little garden at the side of the shop, she saw Billy Blunt, her friend, bending down just either side of the fence. He looked very busy. Billy Blunt was a little bigger than Millie Molly Mandy, and she didn't know him very well, but they always said hello when they met and played together. So Millie Molly Mandy peeped through the fence and said, "Hello, Billy." Billy looked round for a moment and then said, "Hello," and then got back on with his work. Millie Molly Mandy stuck her toes in the fence and hung on and looked over the top. "What's the matter?" Millie Molly Mandy asked. "What are you doing?" Billy Blunt looked round and said, "Nothing's the matter. Only I've got to weed these old flower beds right up to the house." "Oh, I like weeding," said Millie Molly Mandy. "Huh, you try it here then and see how you like it," said Billy Blunt. "The earth's as hard as nails and the weeds have got roots pretty near a mile long." Millie Molly Mandy wasn't quite sure whether he meant it as an invitation, but anyhow she accepted it as one and pushed open the little white gate and came into the Blunts' garden. It was a nice garden, smelling of wallflowers and roses. Billy Blunt said, "There's a garden fork if you want to use it." So Millie Molly Mandy took it up and started work on the other side of the flower bed, which bordered the little brick path up to the house, and they dug away together. Millie Molly Mandy said after a while, "Doesn't the earth smell nice when you turn it over?" And Billy said, "Does it?" "Well, I suppose it does rather." And then they carried on weeding. Do you want to see a picture of them in the garden? Look at those beautiful flowers. There's Millie Molly Mandy and Billy digging away. After a while, Millie Molly Mandy was pulling up tufts of grass out of around the pansies and asked, "What do you do this for if you don't like it?" And Billy Blunt said, "Father says I ought to make myself useful." Then Millie Molly Mandy said, "Why are there all those little holes in the lawn?" "Dad's been digging out the dandelions," said Billy Blunt. "He wants to make the garden nice. And Grandma's had to do a lot of that recently as well." Then Millie Molly Mandy said, "There's a lot of grass here, only it oughtn't to be. Maybe we should plant it in the holes on the lawn where the dandelions were." Said Billy Blunt. "Then we'll be making the lawn look as tidy as the flower beds. Let's do that." So they dug and they turned the earth and they pulled out what didn't belong there, all the weeds they threw into a heap to be burned, and all the bits of grass that they gathered they carefully planted back into the lawn. And after a while the flower beds began to look most beautifully neat, and you could hardly see any bald places in the lawn at all. Presently Mr. Blunt came out of the shop onto the pavement. He had a can of green paint and a brush in his hand, and he reached over the fence and set them down among the daisies on the lawn. "Hello, Millie Molly Mandy," said Mr. Blunt. "Thought you'd gone home. Well, you two have been doing some good work on those flower beds. I'm going to paint the water butt and the handle of the roller sometime soon, but perhaps you'd like to do it for me. You'll have to clean off the rust first with sandpaper." Billy Blunt and Milly Molly Mandy looked quite eager. Billy Blunt said, "Yes, please, Dad." And Milly Molly Mandy looked with great interest at the green can of paint and the green garden and the garden roller. But she knew she ought to be starting back to dinner at the nice white cottage with the thatched roof where her family lived. Otherwise, Mother would be wondering where she'd gone. So she handed a garden fork back to Billy Blunt and walked slowly to the gate. Billy Blunt said, "Couldn't you come again after dinner? I'll save you some of the painting." So Milly Molly Mandy skipped off along the way and said, "Yes, I will do. Bye-bye." So after dinner, when she'd helped with the washing up, Milly Molly Mandy asked her mum if she could go back to Billy's house. And when she was given permission, she went. In the Blunt's garden, Billy was busy rubbing the iron bands on the water butt with a sheet of sandpaper. "Hello, Billy," said Milly Molly Mandy. "Hello, Milly Molly Mandy," said Billy Blunt. He looked very hot and dirty, but very happy. And then he said, "Guess what? I've saved you the garden roller for you to paint. It's all sandpapered ready." Milly Molly Mandy thought that was very nice of Billy Blunt. But the sandpapering was the nasty, dirty part of the job that she didn't really want to do anyway. Billy Blunt got the lid off the paint can and stirred up the beautiful green paint with a stick. Then all by himself he thought of fetching a piece of newspaper to pin over Milly Molly Mandy's frock to keep her clean. And there's a little picture of Milly Molly Mandy with the paintbrush ready to paint the roller. Then Billy went back to rubbing the water butt while Milly Molly Mandy dipped the brush carefully into lovely green paint and started work on the garden roller. The handle had a pattern in wriggly bits of iron and it was great fun getting the paint into all the cracks. And you can't imagine how beautiful and new that roller looked when the paint was on it. Billy Blunt had to keep leaving his water butt to see how it was going on because the wriggly bits looked so nice when they were green and he hadn't any wriggly bits on his water butt. It was a bit boring really. By the end of the afternoon you ought to have seen how nice the garden looked. The flower beds were clean and trim, the lawn tidied up, the water butt stood glistening green by the side of the house, and the roller lay glistening green on the grass. And when Mr. Blunt came out and saw it all, he was ever so pleased. He called Mrs. Blunt to have a look, and she was really pleased too. She gave them each a banana, and they ate them sitting on one of the corn bins in the shop. And afterwards, Billy Blunt buried Milly Molly Mandy in the corn, right up to her neck. A little bit mean. And when he helped her out again, she had all bits of corn down her neck, on her hair, down her back, in her socks, everywhere. But Milly Molly Mandy didn't mind at all. It was great fun. And that's the end of that chapter. Maybe before Grandma reads to you again, you could do some gardening in your garden. Maybe you could help Mummy in the flower beds, or maybe you could help mow the lawn, or maybe you could plant some vegetables and then take a picture to send to Grandma. Just say bye-bye to Milly Molly Mandy and Billy Blunt. There they are. Milly Molly Mandy's got some wheat, some bits in her hair there from the corn. Okay. And I will say bye-bye. See you next time.